How's it going, guys? Have you enjoyed it so far?
Very much, thanks. Yes, the weather's better than we thought, and we're keeping going and keeping cool. It's great.
It's actually quite warm, isn't it? And the big thing, nice and dry as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
So do you walk quite a lot, or is this sort of a first time thing, or have you been practicing a lot?
Yeah, we're quite regular walkers. We both walk into school and to work every morning. So we like to think we keep fairly fit. Although we've never done anything as long as 50 miles before.
Yeah, it's a long old way, isn't it? Because we've already seen there's some people running it, which I think, well, they're just crazy. But yeah, and so where have you been so far? Any sight? Obviously, we're at a nice little cross point between Burbage and Stanage now. Where are you off to? Chatsworth, is it? Yeah.
Chatsworth, Grouse Inn, very nice pub, but I gather we're only getting water there. The detour around the back of the Hallamshire Golf Club is rather interesting, quite steep, quite challenging. Then up onto Stanage, and that's always glorious. And I'm just so glad that today we haven't got pouring rain and enough of a view. It's been fantastic. Couldn't be a more beautiful route.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Thank you very much. Good luck. Enjoy your walk. Thank you. See you later, guys.
We're here at the Longshaw Estate, only 15 minutes outside of Sheffield on the bus, where we are surrounded by plants and animals everywhere. Let's find out more about this area from one of our lecturers.
I'm Tim Birkhead. I'm from the Department of Animal and Plant Sciences in the university. And we're here for the Big Walk 2017. Staff, students and academics are going to be walking 50 miles through the Peak District to raise money for the Sheffield Scanner. Just standing here, I can hear about 5 or 6 different species calling and singing, and there's a number that you're very likely to see on the walk. Some of them are completely iconic species. And the first one is the raven, and I think you're going to hear that before you see it. And basically the raven makes a deep sounding cronk, which to me sounds a bit like a kind of resonant pig, like that. And you look up and you'll usually see a pair of ravens because they're very monogamous. They stay together through their whole lives and they're very long-lived. Ravens have had a checkered history in the Peak District. When I first came here over 20 years ago, you wouldn't dream of seeing a raven because they'd all been shot, persecuted by gamekeepers and shepherds and so on. And then there was slowly a reintroduction, a natural reintroduction, and the birds became reasonably common so that you could pretty well guarantee that you'd hear or see ravens on a walk like this. Just coming out here and walking and hearing and seeing ravens just makes that walk extra special.
A great insight on the area from Tim Birkhead there. And now I'm speaking to someone that's put a unique twist on how they're approaching the Big Walk 2017.
So I'm currently in Weston Park doing a practice walk for the Big Walk 2017, and a unique way that I'm approaching it is that I'm going barefoot. So I started going barefoot about 5 years ago, and I found that shoes were always quite uncomfortable and never really fit me quite well. And then when I looked into it more, I found that there's some health benefits for going barefoot. A part that I enjoy is the different sensory feedback that I get. Particularly sort of one texture that I like walking on. If you're out hiking in a woods, and particularly a pine forest, there's lots of needles on the ground, and they're kind of old and a little rotten, and so they're quite soft. During the walk, what I'll be looking forward to is sort of experiencing what the Peak District has to offer in terms of the natural sights, natural sounds, and the natural feels with my feet. And then in addition, having the accomplishment of completing the walk and being able to say that I've done 50 miles. And a part I'm maybe not looking forward to is right before Calver, there's Coombsdale, which is quite rocky, it's quite tough. I might have to take a different strategy for how I will be able to tackle that area. But I have hiked in the Rocky Mountains back at home in Canada, so I think if I can complete that, I can probably finish this.
So I'm joined here with Lindsay at the moment. Lindsay, how have you found it so far? We're about 12 miles in.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've done this part of the route before and I've been training a lot, so it hasn't been too challenging yet. I'm well prepared to get this far at least. Yeah.
So you've been preparing while you've been at the university. What is it that you do at Sheffield?
I'm a research technician in the Infection, Immunity and Cardiovascular Disease Department, and I work in a lab where we are studying atherosclerosis. So this is the disease that causes the fatty buildup of plaques in the arteries, and our lab specifically studies shear stress, so which affects where in the arteries these plaques are formed.
So you obviously know the benefits of medical research. Is that why it kind of inspired you to do something for charity and for medical research such as this?
Yeah, I think the Sheffield Scanner Initiative is a great way to sort of advance the medical field, especially in the Yorkshire area, and help get people diagnosed and get better treatments and more accurate treatments for their diseases. Yeah.
Now, we can't exactly avoid the fact that the unique thing about your walk today is that you are doing it barefoot.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
compared to my walking shoes, that's quite something. I mean, have you been walking barefoot for a long time, or is this quite a new thing for you?
Yeah, I've been going barefoot for about 5 years. I'm from Canada, and I would take a break in the winter if it went below 0 degrees. But I can handle pretty cold temperatures. So and it rarely gets below 0 here in England, so I'm fine for most of the year.
And we've been quite lucky today with the
yes,
weather as well.
it's been nice. Yeah.
Very, very nice. So, so far, what has it felt like? Kind of, I suppose you've been walking on quite a lot of tarmac with the road parts, but have we been off track as well on the route so far?
Yeah. So up over Stanage Edge. And that area, there's sort of the grassy bits. I guess near Redmires, we go through some forest, so there's nice sort of soft soil and a bit of mud, which I don't mind. Maybe people with shoes might mind mud a bit more, but it's more enjoyable for me. Yeah, and then up on Stanage is a mixture of the sort of rough rock and the grass in there, and it's been a good walk so far. Yeah.
Well, Lizzie, thank you very much for speaking
thanks.
to us. So we have got just about around 12 miles here. We're going to be catching up at Overhaddon later on, where we're going to see what challenges the walkers face over the next 12 miles.